Hi, I'm Bob McClure, winner of the 2019 Hamiltonian.
And I'm Louis-Philippe, winner of O'Brien Awards 2018 and winner of 2020 Hamiltonian.
Back, Forbidden Trade on the inside. Green shoe, Forbidden Trade with a gigantic upset. Forbidden Trade, green shoe, flying late was Chimpanzee.
It's a real honor just to be nominated. I've been beat out twice by a Frenchman, so here's hoping I can turn the tide on them.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same that Bob probably felt last year when he was going against me and he knew that I was going to be the O'Brien Award winners. So, but just like to be nominated, to be among the kind of the top 2 driver in Canada, it's a big honor. So, pretty happy to be there for the night. I think it's the same as every time you go on the track. Even if you won 3 or 4 in a night or no, you always want to win whatever, like we're competitive guys. So for sure, I'm happy to be nominated, but I'd like to win, that's for sure.
It'd be easier to make a case for him than it would be for me. I think if I were to win, it would just show how much weight the Hamiltonian holds. I was happy with my year. I thought it was a successful year, but I think, without the Hamiltonian, I may not have, probably wouldn't have gotten the nomination, but I think that race just holds a lot of weight. And I think we're both fortunate because Sylvain Filion could have just as easily been in our position. So.
Yeah, I think the same as well for the Sylvain Filion's part. I think we're a few drivers, even Trevor and we, like a bunch of drivers that have a good year, and all of us had probably like a little slow in the year, but we had ups too. So that's probably why I think maybe I should win because over the year, if you look at it as an average, whatever, I think my numbers stayed pretty good. So.
I think it's easy to take it for granted, but then you look back on, for me where I was 3 years ago, I was just driving B tracks and, running the roads every night, and I was happy doing it. And I'm sure for Louis, 5 years ago, you were at fair tracks, so it's easy to take it for granted, but when you look back on it and you realize how far both of us have come in a short period of time, obviously we owe it to a lot of people, our success, but it's very significant and it's nice.
I think if we were taking it for granted, it would be way less stress every day, but way less fun too. Like I said, we're a competitive guy. We like to show up here, do our best, and the fact that in that business you don't know where you're gonna be in a year from now. That's what keeps you a little bit on your toes. So, like I said, it's a lot of stress in every day, but it's a lot of fun too to compete and to make sure you do your best every day, every month.
Well, in French, him, in English, me. But
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
But for sure, there's a lot of it, and it's always fun. But usually our focus is kind of on James McDonald, so we don't get at each other too much. But
yeah, when it comes to trash talking, I probably look like the good guy because in English I just can't answer, so I just go quiet, whatever. But maybe if we were talking French, I would look a little bit more mean.
I mean, for me, watching the B tracks right now, it's very evenly spread. And I mean, right now Scott Young's moved here almost permanently, and he seems to be doing a fairly good job. And he's always been really good with young horses, which is advantageous here. So I'd say right now he's the up-and-comer.
For sure, I've been impressed with the way that I think that Scott Young probably looked a lot at what Bob was doing here, because when he came here, he's actually got the same style as Bob. Like I said, he's smart. He doesn't overdrive any horses, And other than that, looking at the B track too. But I would say when I was going to pee, I remember Austin Surrey there. That now moved here, and you could tell by the way he was just sitting in the bike, just how chill he was, kind of, that he had this part for sure. Then after, there's a lot of other things to add to the part of being comfortable with the horse and knowing how to make them go whatever. But I think that he's got for sure a good base.
I'd say for sure Austin Sawyer's got a bright future too. Well, you have to have support. You have to have trainers and owners willing to put you down, and they have to have numbers. Definitely numbers. You know, you can have a stable that bats 500, but if they only got 5, they ain't gonna get you far. I was lucky enough when I started to have Dean Nixon. He had about 19 racing at the time. We were still a Woodbine, and that summer I just got very lucky and I picked up Determination. And when Determination picked me up, it seemed like maybe it got some other people's attention and it all snowballed. It was just a case of good timing for me. I was just really lucky that way.
Whatever how good you are, you need the horses to drive, and that's people that put confidence in you, and where you build good relationship with either trainer, owners, or crew that you're working with. So I think that's the main asset you can have as a driver, is to be able to have those good relations. Then after, people will be confident with you if you build those good relations.
For me, very false. You can almost bet that if you give me a time to be there, I'm going to be there 15 minutes early. And it drives a lot of people nuts because I get like anxiety if I'm late. I have to be early. I'm always way early. And others who often I have to travel with, well, James, Doug, Jody, Louis, you just know they're going to be late. So they've all caught on too that when we're going somewhere, if we're leaving at 6, I tell them 5:20, and then they show up at 5:40 and we're 20 minutes early, so I'm happy. But now they don't fall for that anymore.
Yeah, you're probably right with the rumor, because I felt like lately I improved a lot about it, but I'm still below the average.
But you were late for this interview too.
That's what I'm saying. But I would probably be late 30 minutes back in the days. I was late 10 minutes. So
Getting better.